Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Brothers Radio Podcast, the Working Man's Podcast.
That's right. Well, let's just have a moment of silence for your mouse, Gump.
My mouse? You mean my computer mouse?
Yes.
Oh, it's being stupid. So I chucked it across the studio.
Fuck that thing.
Well, the left click button doesn't seem to work. That might have something to do with the fact that I may have played countless thousands of hours of Minecraft with that mouse.
Yeah, that would do it. If there's a certain amount of clicks per mouse till it
I've
dies,
used it up and then some.
You've used every one of them.
Oh yeah, I've used all the clicks in that mouse, so it's lived a long life.
It's done you good.
Yep. Well, brother, what's new with you, man?
Shit, nothing.
Nothing new.
Nothing new.
Nothing new under the sun, eh?
I mean, the listeners pretty much know what's going on in my life. Nothing. But we got some sick new coasters.
Yeah, rocking the new coasters. Thanks, Nate Brawl.
Absolute beauty. What's his Instagram handle? Nate Brawl Designs?
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I think we shouted it out on the last one. So.
No, we never did. I don't think we did.
I think we did.
I mean, we shouted him out having him on the show, but I don't think we ever shouted out his Instagram.
Well, people can figure it out.
Yeah, Nate
Search
Brawl.
up Nate Brawl. He's on the internet.
I'm pretty sure it's Nate Brawl Designs. But.
He's there. So, to start things off here, I suppose we should address the fact that Canada now is under the Emergency Act.
Yep.
That's interesting, eh?
I'm not sure how to feel yet.
There's a silent rage inside of me.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's like, we'll see where this goes.
I'm curious to see where it all goes. Really.
I'm just sitting back.
I'm genuinely curious. I'm sitting back. We're here in the studio enjoying,
sipping shock tops.
To the disappointment of the listeners, we're enjoying shock tops today. That Belgian white, not a Bud Light, but nonetheless, they're pretty fucking delicious. I'll say.
So we're just sitting here enjoying shock tops and waiting to see what happens with the protests going on across Canada.
Yep. And
at different border crossings across Canada, and specifically the convoy in Ottawa.
Yeah, I think there's if there's kind of, the two sides of the issue. You got everybody actually at these protests at the borders, and then you have people in Parliament that are just as upset because they're not listening.
Yeah.
And the people at the border don't want to listen. So there's got to be some common ground here. We got to figure something out. And I don't want it to get where there's lives being risked. That would suck.
Well,
I would hate to see that shit.
At the same time, the Liberal Party is overstepping its bounds so far.
Yeah.
And so I read someone retweeted a quote from the Dalai Lama, and he said that remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. So the fact that the Liberal Party has decided to enact the Emergency Act and essentially classify what's going on across Canada as terrorism, and classify anyone who is helping people out financially, classify that as essentially aiding and abetting terrorist acts. What they've done is overstepped themselves so far that I don't see them really coming back from this.
Yeah,
because how can you possibly agree with the use of this when there's been zero actual accounts of dangerous activity going on in these protests? None. These protests have been nothing but peaceful.
Yeah, and has Justin's party at all reviewed what the protests are asking for?
No, he doesn't. He hasn't talked to him. He actually doesn't care.
Yeah.
Before, those guys could have been home last week if they would have just conceded to the demands.
Yeah.
And the demands are very simple, which is that we need to move forward and we can't continue to segregate people based on their vaccination status.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's a bridge that we shouldn't cross. It's a step backwards.
Yep.
in as far as moral principle goes.
Well, I think it's so much more than, like, the division between people is so much more than just the things you can see now. Like, go back 200 years ago, a white guy didn't like a black guy because of his color. It was that simple, but now it's your beliefs, but you don't even know what somebody believes when you look at them.
Now you're told to hate people that you don't even vaguely, like, who may or may not hold the beliefs that you think they actually hold.
Exactly.
So now you see lots of people who are being fed lies from the legacy media, the mainstream media, who think that the people at these protests are actual white nationalists or neo-Nazis. It's like, that's not at all what's going on. Like, if you haven't been seeing the footage from these protests, I mean, that's intentional, because they don't want the regular person to see that.
Yep.
But if you go on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere, you can see the videos, like hundreds of thousands of videos of people at these protests showing what's going on, and it's nothing but love, and it represents all races.
Yeah.
Especially the Sikh guys, because they're very much a people who have had to fight to stay independent or to even stay alive, to exist. Their religion has been horribly persecuted against for hundreds of years.
Pretty much the entire existence of their religion.
Except for the last, I'd say, 150 years, maybe, even then. But so they're very much against this stuff because they just recognize it as another situation where people may be discriminated against, and they don't like that shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very easy to, like, get really doom and gloom about the fact that the Emergency Act has been enacted, but I see it as the biggest political blunder any party has ever done in the history of Canada.
Yep.
Like, seriously, it is one of the dumbest things.
It's complete and total political suicide.
That's what it is. And quite frankly, it may get tossed out by the Supreme Court of Canada. And I think, I'd like to see it be tossed out. You never know. But I don't see how the Supreme Court can justify the Liberal Party actually having this enacted. Because where is this evidence of a terrorist threat?
Yeah.
There was a story down at Coots that there was like there was a bust where they found a whole bunch of guns, right? Cops raided some places.
Was it a bus or a...
No. They busted.
Oh, busted.
It was a bust.
A
with
bust.
A T.
I got you. A house, right?
And they raided a whole bunch of guns, but the place that they raided was not... It was near where the convoy was, but it wasn't associated with the convoy.
Yeah. See, and I also heard that there was a gun at the protest. But here's the thing, like, when you think of, like, a gun at a protest, you instantly think of some guy strapped, ready to fucking go. He's got his vest on. He's got his AR-15.
Yeah.
He's got 6-7 mags on him. He's ready to fucking make some noise.
He's gonna Kenosha Kyle this shit.
Well, here's the other side of the spectrum. Fucking Farmer Joe is heading off to the field and thinking he can just get through the blockade. Hey, I got to check my field, and he's got his 22 under his backseat.
Yeah.
Well,
go for gun.
All right, I can see that. Was a gun at the protest? I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Was it at all associated with what's going on there? No.
And this is just a thought, but we have to think about that. Like, it's way more possible that a farmer had a 22 in his pickup than some guy fucking strapped to the nines ready to go.
Yeah, and so you read news stories about what actually happened there, and they don't even say half of what actually happened.
Yeah,
they actually can't seem to get like interviews with the RCMP who busted that house, because the RCMP know that it wasn't associated at all with the convoy itself.
Yeah.
And allegedly people who like, some guys were looking at the pictures, and if you look at the pictures of all these guns that they found, there's like there's like an AR-15 with like a 25 power scope on it.
Yeah.
Like a scope for, like a 308 or, like a hunting rifle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the fuck is that doing on like a short range rifle?
Yeah.
It's retarded. It's like they slapped together a bunch of dumb shit. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a a setup.
Yeah.
But one might be able to. I mean, it's suspicious for sure.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's also very convenient for the government. So, of course, I'm going to be suspicious.
Yeah. And I don't want to dive into conspiracies, but, there's been fuckery around before. Who knows? Those guns could have been planted for all we know.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's partially why they won't get the interviews from the RCMP, because the RCMP know that this wasn't associated at all with the thing, but it's being made out to be associated with the truckers.
Exactly. And the RCMP can't say, hey, this isn't associated with the convoy, because, well, who's going to report it?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, exactly. No one will pick up on that.
It's pretty obvious they want to demonize the convoy.
They have a clear agenda of what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So
it's bullshit.
It is bullshit. All I'm saying is, folks, you gotta do your own research. Don't listen to, honestly, there's very few, if none, really trustable news sources in Canada.
Yeah.
Because you go to one site and it says the exact same story as the next site. There's no variation in anything. And then you go to Instagram, you see a completely different thing going on.
Yeah.
And you can't help but realize that someone is trying to change the narrative.
Yeah. See, and it's not even like there's no real long articles on Instagram, but I mean, photos and videos don't lie. I mean, you can go on Instagram right now, search up, what is it, Freedom Convoy 2022?
Yeah, they're still up.
They're still up. And you can just watch videos of just Canadians being Canadians for like hours and hours.
Yeah, people just setting up coffee stands, getting coffee, guys
and just partying,
dancing, like being Canadians, protesting this bullshit.
Yeah, like you could just watch hours and hours of that shit.
Yeah.
But you don't see it anywhere.
But then, you just talk to the next person and it's like, oh, well, this is a bunch of racists. Like you need to look for yourself. Yeah. Don't
take our word for it. I mean,
we're just as stupid as the next guy.
Yeah. But we see hundreds and hundreds of videos of just good Canadian folks just
being Canadian,
themselves.
Protesting what they believe in. And it's how can you argue with like 100,000 videos of people being peaceful and peacefully protesting?
Yeah.
No.
Freedom will prevail.
Yeah, 100%. And then, you hear lots of people are like, well, these are illegal now. These are illegal blockades because it's been deemed that. It's like, well, everything that Gandhi did was illegal as well. So.
But he's praised for what he did.
He's praised for what he did. Legality has nothing to do with it. Legality has nothing to do with morality. I mean, at one time it was legal to own people, for fuck's sake. One time it was legal to charge non-white ethnic groups to live in Canada. Charge them a head tax.
Exactly. Just remember, legal and illegal are things we determine. What people determine. Yeah. Does it actually fucking mean anything? Not really. It's all perception. It's all public perception and public policy.
Yeah.
You just say, hey, you can't do that. Everybody agree? Yup.
Yeah.
And then all
just
of a sudden
because it's legal does not necessarily mean it's moral. Now, there are plenty of legal things that are moral. Yes. For instance, not killing people and not raping people and that sort of shit. But when you get down to like the really niche type of rules, then the lines really begin to be blurred.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it? Okay, it's legal, but is it moral? And so, they say, oh, well, these are illegal protests. You're not legally allowed to block a border crossing. Well, okay, but is the government legally allowed to prevent businesses from, like a small business from doing what they do? Is that legal for the government?
Is it moral to withhold, or not withhold, but take your corporate bank account, like put it on hold?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that, well, that's legal now because of the Emergency Act. Is it moral? No.
Exactly.
Absolutely not. Yeah. So that's maybe the one thing to take away from all of this. If you're wondering why it's now everything is being deemed to be illegal, these protests are illegal. Maybe it might still be moral.
Yeah.
Everything Gandhi did was illegal. For instance, here's a fun fact. So in British India, or I guess it'd be the British Raj, it was illegal for anybody to harvest salt themselves. There was a company in India that owned all the salt. It was a crown monopoly that owned all salt in British India. So if you were to go down to the sea and start drying out seawater and get sea salt, you would actually be breaking the law. And so you know what Gandhi did?
Yeah.
Just that. He's like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So he went to the sea and he urged all his followers to do the same thing. Grab buckets of water, lay them out in the big drying thing, whatever, the big drying racks for making sea salt. Yeah. Let's all make sea salt. So he's making tons and tons of sea salt. And oh man, he got chucked in prison and fined and everything else. But he just kept doing it. Yeah. Not because it was, like, you know, because it was the moral thing to do. Yeah. Because why should a government, you know, in that case, a government thousands and thousands of miles away, be able to dictate what people here can do with something as simple as seawater? Yeah. Making their own salt. Like, that's fucking preposterous. It's not moral in the slightest. And that's why he protested it, because it was immoral. This is why the Million Man March happened in the United States, because the laws in the South were immoral. They were legal, but immoral. So that's why people protested. Yeah. Technically,
the line between moral and immoral is awfully blurry.
Sometimes. But I think in this case, it's very easy to see what is moral and immoral. Yeah. You know, I think the government forcing people to do things that they don't want to do, I think that is very immoral. Now, it's one thing, obviously, we all pay our taxes and all that shit, and the government forces us enough to do enough stuff. Yeah. So then to force upon people to make medical decisions against their will, that's not moral in the slightest.
Need a beer?
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, that's all I got to say about political shit, politics.
On to the next.
On to the next thing.
That's our 17-minute stint. All right. In other news,
what have we got going on, brother?
Well, I had you pull up that that video. We're not going to say the name of it. Gump, just roll the tape.
Every Canadian will know this.
Yeah, every good, wholesome Canadian mid-90s kid. All right, here we go.
Oh, hold up.
Yeah, crank that shit up.
What's your thing? Everybody's got to have a thing.
There we go. Oh, that's
sound effects. Here's a T-Rex. Mom! Aiden cut me in half again!
Oh god, I think I'm ear raping everybody. Huh? I think I am. Oh, maybe.
Nobody's good at everything. Everybody's good at something. What's your thing?
What's your thing? Yeah, you tell me where you're raping people over. Well, there's like 5 different volume control things going on. Oh, fuck's sakes. Well, oh god, it's really loud. Sorry, folks. Hold on, let me bring her down back to half. There, that's a little better, I think.
What happened?
Well, when I was turning it up, I turned up the wrong volume knob, and so everything just became really fucking loud for about a minute. Sorry, everybody. But yes, does anyone remember the "What's Your Thing" commercials from, like, I guess they started that in like the late 90s?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess right around 2000. Yep,
those are great.
Well, we had the House Hippo. What were those called? Heritage Minutes? No, not the Heritage Minute, not the House Hippo.
Heritage Minutes were the Heritage Minutes.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah, because they would have just a short little, like a 1-minute commercial, just like some native guy going across a lake in a canoe or something. I think that was one of them. I don't know what he was doing. I don't remember his name, but he was obviously very important.
Well, he was a chief, of course.
Of course. I can't. Fuck. Can't remember.
Huh. Yeah, there was some pretty good ones. I remember one about Laura Secord. Now thinking about it, you know who Laura Secord
No,
was?
I don't.
All right, never mind.
What kind of shit Canadian am I?
Pretty shit. Not the greatest.
And does anybody remember Carlos from YTV?
Here's Carlos.
That fucking annoying white bitch that had a way too high of a fucking voice.
What are you doing, man?
That was a good April.
Oh, shut this fucking shit off, Gump.
Silly
I cannot handle her voice. I couldn't handle her at 6 years old, and I can't handle her now.
Ugh. What's Carlos doing these days? What the hell?
You know,
Let's Google that. Let's Google that.
Yeah, I seen him somewhere, like in a movie or something. I was like, holy shit.
Carlos from YT.
It's Carlos.
From the Zone.
Yeah, the Zone.
Carlos Bustamante? Did you tell me this guy's last name is Bustamante? Holy shit, this guy is bussin'.
He is bussing. He's goated with the sauce for sure.
Carlos Bustamante may refer to the TV presenter.
Yeah.
The Zone.
Yeah, dude.
Is that all this guy did? He
Oh,
doesn't even
no,
have
he was.
he doesn't even have his own Wikipedia page.
Well, he's not that important.
Uh,
Sandra Jackson, is that the girl?
Sorry, Sandra Jackson. Woo! I am for real.
No, I don't know the rest.
Yeah.
Penguins of Madagascar. Go up a little bit. Up. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, we're
stop,
sorry.
Stop. Whoa. Down.
Oh yeah, Sugar, that a really annoying bitch, used to host that show, and she stopped doing it. Like eventually, I think
Yeah, I wish
2009. Left to travel the world. Good for her.
How long did he?
Forever. I think he still does it. Does he still do it?
No, you're on the Zone right now.
Yeah, but
okay.
Carlos left after 16 years
Good
to
for
become a
him.
full-time reporter for Entertainment Tonight Canada.
Oh,
That's right. That's right. He's on Entertainment Tonight. Good for him.
good for him.
Now they got some Polish guy named Alex Wierzbicki.
Where's Bicky?
Why do they pick people with the most hilarious names ever?
Well, why did they pick a Puerto Rican guy in the first place? Or what is he?
I have no idea.
No,
There's nothing on this guy.
Peruvian American.
No.
Oh,
That's a
no.
scientist named Carlos Bustamante.
My bad.
This guy, he's just, I don't know, maybe he's El Salvadorian or something.
No, search him up. Go to his Wikipedia page. Go
He
back.
doesn't have one.
You didn't click on it?
He doesn't have one. I'm telling you this.
Oh, okay, Gump.
He's got a fucking Instagram
Go to
account.
his Instagram. See what's going on.
See what's going on his Instagram. There he is.
Oh, he's only got 23,000 followers. That's sad.
Reporter on ET Canada. Your childhood on YTV official. Time traveling nerd. All right.
Oh, so
Copy.
he's a fucking loser. He's a weeb. Look at him.
He's not he's got an anime there, but he's not that gay. He's talking to Giancarlo Esposito. Fucking Gus Fring here.
Who?
Gus Fring.
Oh, yeah.
Character in this medium versus any other medium that you've done.
Yeah, that's he was in
We like to look good all the time.
Breaking. No. Yeah, Breaking Bad. wasn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
I can't believe you've never watched that.
I
show.
still haven't watched it. Go.
You're an idiot.
I'm not going to. You need to watch Sons of Anarchy
Why?
because it's fucking
So
good.
I watched some.
He was walking to George St. Pierre. He's talking to George St. Pierre.
Oh shit! Let's watch that video.
I talked to Anthony Mackie like last week.
George, quit
We
smiling.
were talking about working with you, and he said,
I took a
He's
full
nervous.
punch to the head from GSP and didn't get knocked out. True story.
and he was very, very proud of that fact.
Anthony is amazing. I'm gonna tell you, Anthony is amazing. He's an amazing actor.
Anthony is amazing, huh?
He's very charismatic.
That
He makes
Barnaki
everyone
take a
laugh.
punch, you wouldn't believe.
We spend a lot of hours on the choreography. And there's a scene that
Oh,
we punch and he
GCB.
duck under and I wasn't able to pull the punch on time, and with his equipment he had to duck under, so he get my arm touched
That's
his
enough
head.
French people for a
And-
while.
It's not GSP for now. Thank you.
No, I'm okay. We don't have to listen to French people anymore. I tell you what, he take a punch, man. He take a punch like you wouldn't believe, man. There,
I'm gonna take-
Tabernacle.
I'm gonna take a wild guess on his ethnicity, judging by that picture right there on the left side. Go.
No, he's not a. You're an idiot. He's
Doesn't
not
he look
Asian.
kind of Japanese?
No, his last name is Bustamante.
Well, he could be adopted.
I don't think he is.
Well, go. You sound like you really fucking know all about this guy's
I'm willing to
life.
guess he has some sort of Hispanic ethnicity. He's probably like El Salvadorian or some shit.
Could be. Could be.
I don't think he's Japanese.
Could be. I'm just saying.
He's just long and slender like a Japanese person. But not like a sumo wrestler. They're not very slender at all.
What are we doing?
I don't know. Just looking at Carlos Bustamante. Bustamante.
Yeah, what a terrible last name.
That's an alright last name. There's worse than last names.
Boost them on
for
my
sure.
tetes.
Anyway, I want to talk about Dadaism a little more. Actually, like go in depth and like I've touched upon it vaguely in comparison to modern memes. But
Oh, yeah, because we were... Yeah.
I want to talk about it like directly. So Dadaism developed in reaction to World War One. Consisted of artists who rejected logic, reason, and aestheticism of modern capitalist society, instead expressing nonsense, irrationality, and anti-bourgeois protest within their work. The art of the movement spanned visual, literary, and sound media, including collages, sound poetry, cut-up writing, and sculpture. Dada artists expressed their discontent towards violence, war, and nationalism, and maintained political affinities with more radical left-wing types of political leanings, but not necessarily aligned with it, just maybe more friendly with it.
Right.
There's no consensus on the origin of the movement's name. A common story is that the German artist Richard Hulsenbeck slid a paper knife, a letter opener, at random into a dictionary where it landed on Dada, a colloquial French term for a hobby horse. Jean Arp wrote that Tristan Tzara invented the word at 6 p.m. on the 6th of February 1916 in the Café de la Terrasse in Zurich. Others note that it suggests the first words of a child, evoking a childness and absurdity that appealed to the group. Still others speculate that the word might have been chosen to evoke a similar meaning or no meaning at all in any language, reflecting the movement's internationalism and also just the absurdity of it. So here's a bunch of Dadaists here. These are like the early Dadaists.
Those are the early memesters.
Essentially, yeah. Guy named Max Ernst.
They look like it. Damn.
Hans Richter. Let's see if we can find some examples
Yeah,
of
some
work.
early Dadaism.
Here's an example. So basically it's just this looks like it's a spiral.
Yeah.
And then it says La chair qui a trop bu est un bœuf napolitain. Something about the chair, something beef Napoleon, which is, I think in French. And then it's just purely insanity.
Well, it could be something like spiraling out of control. Do you think?
Who fucking knows?
That's something to do with...
No, but you're thinking logically. That's the problem. Don't think logically at all. It's supposed to be retarded.
No, but I can understand memes.
It's not a meme.
Well,
It's pure absurdity. Can you understand that video I sent you of Patrick Starr getting catapulted on top of a tree and taking it up the ass and then moaning?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that about? Is there something to do with how everything is spiraling out of control?
Kinda.
Is there a deeper meaning to it?
Kinda.
There's no deeper meaning to it. It's Patrick taking a tree up the ass. That's the same thing here. There's nothing deeper than what is there. That's the point. It's surreal.
Well, I'm just saying that everything's spiraling out of control. Doesn't matter what's on the page.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
You're an idiot.
Give me some more examples, you gumpers.
Here. So
fuck.
Hannah Hoch made this one. Let me zoom in a little more.
Well, this makes sense.
So she took a bunch of like magazine stuff, pictures, newspaper, prints, chopped them all up and slapped them together all crazy. And you might notice from this picture that this might resemble something like out of Monty Python. Because have you seen the animations from Monty Python before?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
That was very heavily inspired by this kind of shit, by this
Gotcha.
collaging style, where they would just take shit and put it on a page. You know, like in Monty Python, for instance, they'll just have like They'll just have like a guy bending over and then a trumpet comes out of his ass and he starts playing it. Like just insanity like that, right? It's very similar to this.
In this picture here, you have bearings. You got some bearings there.
Yeah,
on the
you
left
got
side.
a bearing, and then here's the Kaiser.
You got a
Kaiser
wheel.
Wilhelm II up there. And
You got a wheel. You got some.
I think this guy's the French premier or some shit. I
Could
can't
be.
remember.
Could be.
It's just
Got a
there's
train.
gears and machines, and then political figures all whacked together. It doesn't really make much sense.
No,
but
it
you can
makes
get
perfect sense.
You can get an idea of what they're trying to say.
Society.
Essentially, it's not really much. It's not deeper than that.
What's this one?
This one is just a urinal.
Yeah, that's epic.
This is just a urinal, and it's titled Fountain. So
Now
this is the
that's
beginnings of
comedy.
like modern art, you know.
That's comedy.
Um,
Okay, Gump, go up again. See, up a little more. One more. That picture there on the right side.
yeah.
What's with the spirals? There's got to be some sort of meaning. Another picture with spirals?
No, it's got nothing to do with spiraling out of control. It's just a bunch of weird shapes on a page, man. That's the point. And then there's like words written next to it in like really basic font that just say random shit.
No, there is a bunch of weird shapes, but that shape right in the middle is just, that's a perfect screw.
Okay, so this in French, this is what it's called. Rencontre dans la porte tournante. Or tournant? I don't know. I can't speak French. What do I look French?
No, I think in this picture there's got to be more meaning behind it.
Give me the
Search
French.
for English results.
Give me a translation, Kowalski.
Kowalski analysis.
Meeting in the revolving door. That's what
Oh,
it's
that
called.
makes perfect sense because it goes round and round and round and round.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at that picture. Gump.
It's a revolving door.
That's right.
That's the idea. I know.
Society.
You're an idiot.
No, you're an idiot.
So here is... no, not that. It might show... Here, okay, so here's another... So this guy, Raoul Hausmann, made another one of these weird collages where it's just like... It's a guy... Oh, fuck, what have I done?
What happened? Oh.
Trying to zoom in. Oh, fuck. Damn! Trying to zoom... Oh, Christ. All right, everything's ruined. This computer
You can
sucks.
see from here. Okay. All right.
Okay, so this guy is some political figure and he's yelling and he's got some words in his mouth.
Right.
Other than that, it doesn't really make much sense. Anyway, the point is absurdity. Dadaism directly influenced one of my favorite artists of all time, Salvador Dali. You know, the melting clocks guy.
Yep. Yep.
I love his shit, and he was heavily inspired by this sort of stuff. But surrealism was very much inspired by just the surreal, insane aspect of this, that it didn't really have any meaning. So, you know, Dali, for instance, would just paint whatever came to his brain. Like he would put himself in a half sleep, half awake state.
Yeah, I
and
thought.
then wake up and then draw whatever came to his head in that state.
Because he would have everything set up, his easel
Yep.
with his canvas.
His
he would then.
paintbrushes.
He had some sort of weird timer.
Well, he had
not
a-
a timer, but
He had a big skeleton key in his hand.
yeah,
He would recline in his chair, and then underneath his hand, he had a big metal saucer. So as he fell asleep, as soon as his grip, as soon as he let go of the key
Let
as
go
he
of the
fell
key 'cause
asleep,
he's
the
tired.
key would fall out of his hand, hit the saucer, go clang, and wake him up, and go, "Ooh!" And then he would have an image from that sort of lucid dreaming state,
yeah.
that in between sleep and awakeness state, and he would draw whatever idea he had.
Yeah, because I've had you ever after a night of drinking, you get home and you have that 2-hour nap in the morning, dude. Some of the
Weird
wildest
dreams.
fucking dreams, wild shit.
Crazy dreams.
But imagine if you're skilled enough to paint, which I'm not,
Well, sure you could, just not that well.
not that well. But if you could paint that, you'd have melting clocks.
Yeah, man. Frank Zappa was a self-proclaimed Dadaist after learning about it. He said, in the early days, I didn't even know what to call the stuff my life was made of. You can imagine my delight when I discovered that someone in a distant land had the same idea and a nice short name for it.
Oh, Frank.
Good old Frank Zappa. He's definitely a Dadaist for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've listened to his shit.
A
He has
little
that
bit.
one song about being a dental floss rancher in Montana.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, here, let me get the lyrics for that. Frank Zappa, dental floss. Yeah, I think it's just called Montana. Yeah, Montana. I might be moving to Montana soon. Just to raise me up a crop of dental floss. Raising it up, waxing it down in a little white box I can sell uptown. By myself, I wouldn't have no boss, but I'd be raising my lonely dental floss. Raising my lonely dental floss. Well, I just might grow me some bees, but I leave the sweet stuff to someone else. But then, on the other hand, I would keep the wax and melt it down, pluck some floss and swish it around. Have me a crop and it'd be on top. That's why I'm moving to Montana. Moving to Montana soon. Gonna be a dental floss tycoon. Yes, I am. Moving to Montana soon. Gonna be a mental toss flycoon. Dental floss tycoon, mental toss flycoon. I don't know what the fuck that means. Frank. You know what's really interesting about Frank?
Dadaist.
You want to know what was interesting about Frank Zappa is he never did drugs.
Really?
Didn't need them.
Fair enough.
His brain was already warped enough.
I can tell from the Montana lyrics.
Oh, I think my favorite song he ever did was Bobby Brown Goes Down. Let me read the lyrics for you folks. Frank Zappa, Bobby Brown Goes Down. You'll like this. You'll like this a lot.
He does have a killer fucking mustache.
He does. This is off the album Shake Your Booty.
But it's not spelled like
No,
shake
it's like
your
chic,
booty.
like a Arab chic, and then your booty is spelled as like one word. Chic your booty, and then on the album art, it's him wearing like a Arab sort of garb, with the turban and stuff, or not the like the desert headdress and all that,
just to protect his neck.
Yeah,
cover that red.
Chic your booty. Hey there, people. I'm Bobby Brown. They say I'm the cutest boy in town. My car is fast. My teeth are shiny. I tell all the girls they can kiss my hiney. Here I am at a famous school. I'm dressing sharp and I'm acting cool. I've got a cheerleader here. Wants to help with my paper. Let her do all the work and maybe later I'll rape her. Oh God, I am the American dream. I do not think I'm too extreme. And I'm a handsome son of a bitch. I'm gonna get a good job and be real rich. Get a good job. That's a great song. Women's liberation came creeping all across the nation. I tell you people, I was not ready when I fucked this dyke by the name of Freddie. She made a little speech then. Oh, she tried to make me say when. She had my balls in a vice, but she left the dick. I guess it's still hooked on, but now it shoots too quick. Oh God, I'm the American dream, but now I smell like Vaseline. And I'm a miserable son of a bitch. Am I a boy or a lady? I don't know which. So I went out and bought me a leisure suit. I jingle my change, but I'm still kind of cute. Got a job doing radio promo, and none of the jocks can even tell I'm a homo. Eventually, me and a friend sort of drifted along into S&M. I can take about an hour on the Tower of Power as long as I get a little golden shower. Oh God, I'm the American dream, with a spindle up my butt till it makes me scream. And I'll do anything to get ahead. I lay awake nights saying, thank you, Fred. Oh God, I'm so fantastic. Thanks to Freddie, I'm a sexual spastic. And my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, I'm going down. Yeah, and then it just ends like that. What do you think of that, brother?
Dada.
That's a great song, eh?
Well, I'd like to hear it,
I'll play it for you.
All right.
It's too long to play for the folks. You can search that up yourselves there, folks. It's a good song. Certainly, it's not something you'd hear on the Sunday morning radio, that's for sure.
It's always tough reading lyrics without the music because it's like...
Well, it's just poetry then. It's called poetry. You don't have music for it? It's just poetry. It's easy.
But things are always better when there's music behind them.
I guess. I mean, I don't know if, like, raping and killing someone is better with music behind it. You know what I mean? That doesn't really make it better.
Makes it a little better.
All right. I think you're right. Sure. I don't think music makes everything better.
Makes listening to the lyrics better.
Yeah, but people can do that on their own time. We don't have 5 minutes to play the whole song, so I figured I'd just read
to
it.
it later. I'll listen to it later. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Well, you're just saying, eh?
Just saying. Don't worry about me.
All right.
So, Gump, we got talking about why can't we run vehicles off natural gas?
Tell me why.
No. Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake.
Now tell me why. Ain't nothing but
Hear you say, I want it that way. Oh! Okay,
No,
why?
I was-
Why can't we run cars off natural gas?
No, well, you give me a reason why we shouldn't.
Because natural gas... Well, why we shouldn't? No, I don't have any reason why we shouldn't. I have reasons why natural gas isn't the best. Because natural gas is not nearly as energy dense as gasoline or diesel fuel.
All right, what's the difference between gasoline and natural gas?
Energy density of gasoline, 46 megajoules per kilogram.
Okay.
And natural gas,
right
which
there.
is methane, essentially. Natural gas is 55 megajoules per kilogram.
So it has more.
Has more, but the problem is you can't. It's to get a kilogram of natural gas, you need a tank that is quite a bit larger. Think about it that way, right?
Oh, yeah. No,
Because you have
not
to
so much.
compress it, and natural gas is lighter per liter. Natural gas is much lighter than gasoline because
Right.
it's a gas at room temperature. So when you condense it, it's a very, very light liquid.
Yeah, if you're trying to get the same amount of energy in, like, let's say a 2x2 box,
Yeah.
it's easier to do with gasoline than natural gas.
Right.
But you would have to put that natural gas under a huge amount of pressure.
That's the issue, is that you have to put it under huge pressure, whereas gasoline it's liquid at room temperature.
Yeah. So when you liquefy natural gas, if you were to have a bottle of natural gas, full of liquid natural gas, then, because you have to cool it to get it to liquid.
Yeah.
If you were to just put that at room temperature, it would, like, once it got up to temperature, it would be under about 4,600 PSI.
Okay.
If that container would hold that. Yeah.
So that's a lot of PSI.
Yeah, so natural gas, if it turns from liquid into room temperature natural gas inside a container, it gets up to 4,600 PSI.
So if you were to take a container of natural gas and like heat it up with a blowtorch, it would fucking explode.
Well,
So hard.
if it doesn't explode before.
No, because of the pressure. It would gain pressure so fast.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So then
I think that's probably one of the main issues, is that because it's not liquid at room temperature, then it's really unfeasible to get a large amount of it into a vehicle. So then, I know lots of people who used to run their vehicles on natural gas, and it's just like you're fueling up every 170 kilometers. Like, it's just a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fairly cheap,
And
but
it's a pain
still.
in the ass to fill up, too.
It's a pain in the
and
ass
it
to
was all
take-
propane back then.
Oh, it's
not-
propane, yeah.
Which is different.
Right. So then what's propane?
See,
Yeah,
but you don't need to
you-
put that under pressure. It's a liquid as well.
Propane it's not room temperature, but it's like minus 30 something. So it's a lot better than natural gas in that respect.
Right.
It freezes much at a much
Like
warmer temperature
around
than natural gas.
Because I remember at my old work, we would have
Propane's
the
pretty good.
propane run forklift, and at like minus 40, the thing would hardly fucking run.
Yeah, minus 42 is
Yeah.
its boiling point.
Exactly.
So at minus 40, it's basically
It's creating no pressure.
it won't
It's
create
liquid.
it's pure liquid, and you would need a pump to actually suck it into the engine to make it work.
Yeah.
So so that is kind of part of the issue. So I don't know, what do you think? Why? What else?
Well, just like it's hardly sustainable, like to just regularly fill up. Like you need to be a fucking pipe fitter to fill up pretty much. Like your average Joe can't fill up their vehicle.
That's true. Yeah, because
So you need-
you're dealing with pressures that are so ridiculous.
Yeah.
You are not actually the regular schmuck cannot safely fill up their tank.
I'm not saying it's not possible, but like it just like the engineering to make a nice, safe, easy way to fill up your vehicle is ridiculous. So you have to build these service stations and probably have people hired there to help you fill up.
Yeah.
And then you need to design a vehicle. Like if you have a fucking bomb on your vehicle at 4,600 PSI and you get in a crash, I don't want to be anywhere near that thing.
No, absolutely not. It's a pressurized tank
Yeah.
full of an incredibly flammable gas.
Yeah.
So, one wreck and you made a crater in the road.
Yep.
Exactly. I think that's probably a big issue. And then just let's think logistically. Like logistically speaking, if you need service stations now having natural gas pipelines running to them, that is a lot of pipelines that now have to be hooked up.
Shit.
I mean,
That's
not
the easy part.
Yeah, that's in Alberta. That's no issue really because we have pipelines everywhere. But if you were to extend this system across North America, there would be a lot of natural gas pipelines to put in the ground.
Shit, in that way, we should be dumping money into the idea.
Yeah, except then you'd have to hire 3 million people to service these stations because you need to have some sort of training to be able to fill up these tanks.
Yeah. I mean,
fill up people's cars.
Yeah. In that sense, like to fill up the vehicles, you'd need people for sure, but the pipelines you don't need that many people to take care of natural gas.
Not to put the pipes in the ground, it wouldn't be that bad. But no, I think that to cover these if there was a business that did something like this, to cover their ass, they would have to be training employees to fill up people's cars. They wouldn't just let regular people come by and fill up their tank.
Course.
They would have
course.
It would have to be like a ticket of some kind or something like that, So that logistically speaking, it's not feasible. I bet in the long run it would actually be a lot better.
Yeah.
But
natural gas burns way cleaner than gasoline and diesel.
Absolutely. It doesn't create any
it creates two byproducts.
Yeah, carbon dioxide and water.
Yeah.
Gasoline has impurities.
Yeah.
And so it can create acid rain, things like that, which is not great. But yeah, natural gas is super clean. But logistically speaking, it would have to be a complete revolution in the way that we do things.
Oh, yeah.
And most times people are not willing to do that.
No. Big oil would have something to say about that.
Well, yeah, exactly. Natural gas is...
Big GM might have something to say about that. Hey, we don't want to engineer. We just want to sell.
If we want to make money, we don't want to make cool shit. If we wanted to make cool shit, we wouldn't have made the all-new, all-electric Chevy Silverado.
They did that with... I don't know if Chevy did, but Ford for sure made it.
No, Chevy did just recently in the new Super Bowl ads. Have you not seen that?
No. They released an all-electric pickup?
Yeah.
Wow, Chevy.
Man, you've been living under a rock?
Yeah, a little bit. Trying to, anyway. Yeah, show me the shit. Because the Fords actually kind of fuck. I like those.
The electric Fords?
Yeah, they look cool. They're all electric, which is gay.
Super gay. All electric Silverado. This is retarded.
But they look pretty cool. Let me see what does it look like? That's a new Blazer. That's hardly
that
cool.
does not classify as a Blazer. I refuse to call that a Blazer.
Yeah, it ain't a Blazer. It ain't a Blazer unless it's on 37s.
Find the all electric Silverado. Okay. Ontario. Oh, for fuck.
Dude, that's a fucking Avalanche, bro.
It's an Avalanche, but it even looks more stupid and gay.
Actually, well, no, this new Silverado looks better than the old Avalanches, but fucking
I don't know. I think that's just because it has cool wheels.
I hate a 2004 Avalanche. Those things fucking blow.
Yeah, but the front clip is the same as
a pickup. Yeah,
but
that's what makes it gay.
So you prefer this to look like the Honda Ridgeline because this looks like a Honda Ridgeline.
Well, kinda, yeah.
Yeah, looks fucking awful.
If I were to compare this new Silverado to an old Avalanche,
like a 2005 Avalanche,
yeah, I would pick the new Chevy pickup.
I wouldn't. Not in a million years.
No,
I mean, it's
to
ugly.
Own? No. I'd pick the old Avalanche.
Yeah,
it's a
because I
gas
can
job.
actually
No,
do the maintenance
but in
on it.
looks, aesthetics, the new Silverado looks cooler
Yeah, but
than the old Avalanche.
the Chevy Avalanche aesthetically is not the only thing that's different. Is the fact that the box has this weird plasticky thing.
I know. That's what I hate about it. It's like, oh, it's the new Chevy Avalanche. No, that's just a pickup with a gay fucking
That's
box.
a Silverado with a gay box on it. Can you just like rip that off? And I mean, the box is part of the cab.
Well,
I guess
I think the cat. Well,
it's like
maybe.
all one piece or
Yeah,
something
and the
like that.
taillights are all fucking gay too. The box. I bet you could pitch that box off into a ditch.
Like
And then
peel it
just
away
put a-
from the rest of the cab and then put a regular box on it, and it's just a Silverado.
Maybe we need Austin Jansen on here.
Yeah,
the
he'd-
Chevy guy.
He'd
would
be
know.
able to tell us what's what. That doesn't look bad. Look, this guy's put it on big dummy
just because you
mud
put it
boggers.
on mud boggers, it's cool. No, Gump. That thing is fucking gay.
Oh, well, that's. You want the electric Japanese fucking Ridgeline?
Yeah, that thing fucks.
That does not fuck.
Gump.
That most certainly does not fuck.
It does, Gump. The new Silverado compared to the old Avalanche fucks.
It looks disgusting.
Do I hate it? Yes, Gump. I hate it.
It
Do
does not
get me
look
wrong.
good.
I hate it. But it looks better than the old Avalanche.
I disagree. I disagree.
All
It's
right.
so ugly.
All right.
Look, the nose
All
is
right.
this. The nose is literally 3 inches long,
No, it
and
is
the
not,
box
Gump.
is
You're
15,000
so
miles
fucked.
long. Like, look at the
No.
proportion.
No, it's proportioned pretty good.
It is not
It's got
proportioned
a decent size hood.
good. It does not.
It
It's
looks
short
a little
and stubby.
goofy off the back of the cab. I get that. Yeah, it looks like an Avalanche. But other than that, if it was just to be a regular pickup, I bet it would be a sweet looking ride.
No, it looks
But
stupid.
the problem
and
is
boxy
they
and dumb.
made it look like an Avalanche, and I hate that.
It's an even boxier Avalanche. How is that better? Wait, like things boxy and stupid?
Well, the old Avalanches were pretty boxy and stupid. These one has some curves to it. You know, that front isn't just horribly boxy. It's pretty sleek.
It's not sleek.
I mean, the rims are not the coolest, I will admit.
It is not sleek. It looks fucking horrendous.
No, it does not.
Here you go. Here's
Gump.
another blown up picture of it.
All right, the back end. The new Ford back end looks way better than this.
They all look like horse shit
No,
to
they
me.
do not, Gump. Search up a 2022 all-electric Ford F-150. I'm telling you. No, that's 2002.
Whatever, they'll figure it out. Google will sort this out for me.
Zip zap. Yeah.
Oh, the lightning they call
Well, they
it.
made a Lightning. Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
So it's no, but they've just kept the same panels as a regular pickup. That's why it doesn't look retarded.
That's what I'm saying.
Whereas this is what Chevy has done, is gone completely in the opposite direction and made it look like
An
the most
Avalanche.
retarded. It's an Avalanche that's even more retarded.
I disagree.
It looks horrible. I hate it.
No, I think it looks better than the old Avalanches. I think it does.
I think really,
Yep.
really.
Well, that one's pretty fucking ugly. But the blue one, yeah, that's not that bad.
See, what they should do, if they're going to make electric vehicles, they should take the body styles from like the 60s and then
Oh, do some
that-
retrofit.
essentially, but
electric
just
motors
pump
and all
out, like get the old machines out that made these panels or
Yeah.
whatever, or the old dimensions, make trucks that look old but have new technology in them, because then people would buy it. Like, you know, the new Ford Mustang, what they call it, the Mach E or some shit. The Ford Mustang Mach E. It is horrendously
Mucky.
It's fucking awful looking.
No, dude, that's a Porsche Cayenne. That's what that is.
That's a Porsche trying to be a Porsche. That's what that is. Horrible.
Yeah, no, that's hideous. That's not a Mustang.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's not a Mustang. If they took the old fastback,
Shit,
like the 1965 fastback.
If they took like the platform or the 2019 Mustang and made it electric, I'd be happy. But
Yeah.
this is a fucking
But they-
crossover.
It's a crossover. It looks fucking horrible. They have no idea who buys Mustangs.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Maybe they do, because they realize that 55-year-old women like to drive the V6 Mustang.
Yeah. Well, this kind of looks like a taller Tesla.
That's
Which I
the
hate.
thing. That's the thing, is they're just trying to dick ride the Tesla mobiles, which are like they're horrendous looking. I hate them.
Really?
They
I
look
don't-
awful. Well,
no.
the sedans are okay, but you know the hatchbacks, They look fucking
No, the
awful.
sedans aren't bad, and they have cool paints. Like they have like a chameleon paint. It changes colors.
Yeah,
It's
I only
wild.
ever see them in black, white, or red.
See that black. If you look at it, it like has like a rainbow tinge to it. It's
Wow, that's
weird.
almost worth $75,000 American. That's cool.
Yeah, well,
It's not worth it.
people buy Ford F-150s and they're worth the same. And drive them as they would a Tesla.
Yeah, and the computers inside them don't fritz out instantly in the Fords.
Yeah, right.
No,
I would honestly.
serious. You know what? So in the Teslas, new Teslas,
I own a Ford.
all the Teslas, the center console, it's just a big screen, right? Big
Yeah,
touch
yeah.
screen.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
runs everything.
Yeah.
That thing runs on a Intel Pentium. And if anyone knows what that means, an Intel Pentium is what they came out with in it's a series of microchips or GPUs that came out in like the early 2000s. It's a very, very underpowered microchip.
But does it need to be more powered?
Yes, because there is instances where people's displays just cut out on them and start fritzing.
Oh, Elon, you cheaping out. You
They
bastard.
had to cut corners somewhere, so they thought, oh well, the display only needs to run on this, so we'll use an Intel Pentium here because all it needs to do is this. Except that these Pentiums, once the thing is 2 years old, they start to go to hell.
Yeah.
They're not good.
Fair enough.
And I don't even care about any of these electric cars. I mean, listen, electric cars are a great idea if you live in a country that doesn't get to minus 40.
No, if they're a great idea if you have a sustainable source of power. Yeah, we're fucking around with coal. Like, just convert everything to nuclear or natural gas.
Yeah.
Let's just get fucking going with that. And then maybe electric cars would make sense. But
No,
right
it
now,
still wouldn't make sense in Canada.
well, it would if we had the power.
No, it wouldn't because your range is so limited when it's cold.
I mean, I love my gasoline pickup. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's... Yeah.
Okay,
No, you're
there's
right.
people who talk about trying to drive from Vancouver to Calgary or Edmonton, or even to from Vancouver to like in the south of BC, like Kelowna or Osoyoos or something, and they literally have to stop somewhere and charge for 3.5 hours and then continue on their way.
Yeah.
And this is in like
You know what we
this
need?
is the
Gus?
summertime.
We need electrified highways. You just drive all the major roads. You just like get your car on there, and you remember that little racetrack we had as kids?
Like those little electric cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the
It
little
just had
brushes
that-
underneath.
That brush underneath, and then it just powered the car. Away it went.
What I want to know is why no one ever like got electrocuted because of those things.
Well, maybe you didn't, but
Did you have you ever got shocked?
well,
in
no,
one of
I'm
those?
trying to think if I licked it. I don't think I did.
Huh.
No, they were pretty safe. Yeah, I like those things. But why not have like some sort of electrified highway?
Because if you do something like that, you might as well just build bullet trains.
Yeah.
Like save
That's-
resources
well,
and build
yeah,
bullet trains.
that's the obvious idea, but Canadians are too proud. They're like, oh, I ain't riding a fucking train. I make enough money to buy a car.
I don't know. There's a lot of dummies in the city who'd be like, "Yeah, I want to ride the bullet train." Also, I want to haul 8 foot 2x4s home on my bicycle. I knew a guy who did that, by the way. He lives in Ottawa, unsurprisingly. He's telling me about that. He's like, "Yeah, some people gave me funny looks because I was coming home from the hardware store with a couple 2x4s on the back of my bike." I'm like, "You are retarded. Get a car."
Fucking tool. Why haven't we built better trains here in this country?
Because it's an investment, and our government does not invest in infrastructure. In fact, I don't think it invests in anything really. It just kind of burns money. See, and it would be if we were to build bullet train infrastructure in Canada, even just passenger rail in this country. Like, we don't have passenger rail.
Yeah.
We have freight rail. We have what do they call that? Like, grain and products.
Yeah.
What do they
Goods.
call it? Goods. We have that rail. We don't have passenger rail in this country, hardly. And the reason for that is you'd have to upkeep so many thousands of miles of track that it would not be cost effective. But I call
Right,
bullshit on that.
Yeah.
I think it would be. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
Make it cost effective.
Yeah.
Make people want to ride trains. I'd ride trains. That'd be fucking sweet.
Well, if you had a bullet train to take you to Vancouver or Toronto and it was like a 2.5 hour ride, 2.5 hours from Calgary to Toronto.
Well, I don't think. Well, yeah, that would be about right.
Okay, so
Because a plane ride from Calgary to Toronto is, from Calgary to Vancouver is about an hour and a half, hour and 45, I think. Maybe a little more.
it's probably more. It's probably more like 3.
Well, no, it's not, because from Calgary to Kelowna is only 48 minutes.
Why the fuck is there not more trains?
We need more trains in
Need
Canada.
more trains.
Yeah, so what's a Calgary to Vancouver flight? Hour and a half, basically, from Calgary to Vancouver.
What's it from Calgary to Toronto?
That's about 4 hours, 4.5.
Okay.
I've been on that before. Been on
Still,
that flight.
like, trains they're more cost effective compared
100%.
to planes.
Oh, way more cost effective because, you're not screaming through the sky, crashing into the air, cut off from all sources of power.
Because if you were to put a train in some sort of vacuum sealed tube, like the
Hyperloop, that's a stupid idea.
why? Because there's no air resistance.
No, you know why it's a stupid idea?
Why?
Because a pressure valve leaks at one end, and then one side of the tube becomes pressurized, while the other side of the tube is a vacuum. You know what the train turns into then? A fucking speeding bullet. It blows out the side of the other tube on the other end of the line and blows out of there at 555 miles an hour, killing every single person.
Has that happened?
No, that's why they haven't built them.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a stupid idea.
All right. Gee, whoa, jeez.
Hyperloop. I love people who like dick riding the Boring Company and every stupid idea that Elon has. I mean, he's had great ideas, but he's also.
Well, I didn't even know he had
stupid.
that idea. I was just thinking no air.
No, that's one of his main things, which people have criticized because it's stupid.
Oh, okay.
If you have a tube that is like a vacuum tube, what happens if some pressure valve releases on one end? It just turns into a bullet. You basically have a gun that's 500 miles long. You're just going to kill people doing that. It's so stupid.
What if it has brakes?
You're not going to be able to hold back against, if you have a vacuum like that and air rushes into that tube, like it's not going to be able to hold against that. Not to mention the pressure change.
Yeah,
it's going to make so much damage.
Okay. So let's say you're thinking that it had a leak behind the train.
Even in front, now it's going backwards. Either way.
Yeah, but what if you have let's say this tube is 1,000 miles long. You have a valve every, let's say 2 valves every mile. And when it starts leaking, one valve fails, it just cracks every fucking valve it has and pressures the whole thing up in a minute. Done. Then hit your brakes.
No, you're not. Vacuums are very dangerous. You can't just fill a vacuum instantaneously.
Well, I know that. But obviously there's a certain amount of time it takes to reach where it's no longer a vacuum, where it's just regular atmospheric pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that time is, if we can fill that vacuum in a minute, you have 1 minute.
No, it doesn't matter. If your valve breaks, that vacuum will fill back to regular atmospheric pressure in no time. It will rush towards the vacuum as quickly as
I realize that, but if it's hissing through, let's say you have 1,000 miles of perfect vacuum, and it's hissing through one hole, it's going to take time. It's not going to instantly switch to full atmospheric pressure in a second. It's going to take minutes and minutes, perhaps hours.
Not on that scale. On that scale, if you have a vacuum that size, it is going to blow a hole. It's going to make that tiny hole even bigger. Okay, if you have a vacuum that size.
Not if it's built.
Well, then how many trillions of dollars are you going to use to build this fucking thing?
No, it's obvious. Like, so
it's a dumb idea that is not cost effective.
No, I don't think it's that stupid.
I think it's very stupid.
I don't think it's that stupid.
It's incredibly stupid. How much energy are you going to spend to maintain the vacuum?
Oh, yeah. Probably a lot.
Yeah, like billions of dollars.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you don't just have like, okay, there's a phrase in
All I'm
science called
saying
nature
is
abhors a vacuum.
There's very easy ways to keep it safe. Cost effective to keep it vacuumed. Okay, yeah, I can get behind that. There's extremely easy ways to keep that thing safe.
There isn't.
Yes,
there
if
you
is.
have valves, like you said, you have valves every mile.
Yeah.
You mean that there's a thing that cuts off the tube like this?
No, the tube isn't the valve.
You're cutting off. You're sectioning the tube.
No, I'm not.
So then there's nothing that will stop one end from pressurizing.
No. Like, let's say you have a tube.
Okay.
All right. And then you have at the top of your tube, there's a hole with a valve. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you crack that valve, air rushes into the top of the tube.
Yeah.
You have that 2 of them every mile, and all of those open, air rushes in and fills up the tube. So it's no longer vacuumed.
So now you're even filling the vacuum quicker than the damaged part of the tube. So now you're creating a pressure change that is borderline explosive.
Not if you can control the opening of the valves.
It's not. You're not going to stop. You're not going to be able to stop the train from like an instantaneous acceleration. Like it's gonna be sketchy. There's a reason why they haven't built those. There's a guy, I don't know if anyone knows the YouTube channel Thunderfoot. He's like an old YouTube guy. He's been around for a long time. He has spent half of his life decrying why the Hyperloop is a stupid idea. He's a nuclear scientist, and he's come up with hundreds of videos of why that's a stupid idea, and anyone who buys into it is retarded. He also has a series on why there was this hilarious GoFundMe thing that started in like 2013 or something like that called Solar Roadways. The idea being we should replace all of America's highways and roads with solar panel roads so that all, however many square kilometers of road there are now producing energy. And this GoFundMe eventually had enough money to build like a trial experiment. And I think it was in like LA or something like that. They took a park and set out a section of these solar panels under plexiglass. And within 6 months, they had like half of the solar panels die out on them. The plexiglass was starting to crack.
Yeah.
It was horseshit because you can't build a road out of plexiglass.
That's true.
It's a stupid idea. You have to build roads properly, and you can't build roads out of chips and plexiglass and plastic. So he debunked that like very, very methodically, and he did very similar things with the Hyperloop thing, and much of what the Boring Company does, which it's just a farce to make people think that Elon Musk is a genius, but he's really not that smart. He's a good businessman.
Mm-hmm. I still think you're wrong.
I don't think the Hyperloop is a good idea, and I urge you to watch those videos.
Well, I didn't say it was a great idea.
It's a pretty
I'm just saying
stupid
it's
idea.
possible.
It's a very dumb idea.
It's not a dumb idea, Gump. No, it's not.
Nature abhors a vacuum and will do anything in its power to crush a vacuum. So you are constantly fighting to maintain that vacuum, and once it does break, it's going to be chaos. Like there's going to be very little that you can do.
So what if... Is there an element that we can pressurize
That has less resistance?
that has less resistance?
Not cheaply. And no, I guess. Because if you pressurize it to atmospheric pressure, it's going to have the same resistance.
Right.
Because fluids don't... fluid resistance is the same across all elements, I believe.
Yeah. All right. I'll let it slide.
It's a dumb idea. I'm just saying. Google it yourselves, people. It's a stupid idea. It's the reason why we haven't done it. What's really interesting about the Boring Company which is Elon Musk has this idea, we're going to dig tunnels all under LA, and then you can park your car in a little thing, and then the elevator will go down into the subterranean tunnels, and then your car will shoot forward on a little thing, and then you can get from one side of the city to the other. Elon, that's a subway system. England invented that 165 years ago. Just build one of those.
No, it's just a subway system for his Teslas. Is all it is.
Oh, it's so stupid. Like, it's so inefficient because you have one person on one track. The maximum amount of people who are going to be able to use this system is about 50.
Yeah, the ones who can afford it.
Yeah, it's fucked. It's never going to make money.
Oh, it'll make money.
It won't make money.
Why wouldn't it make money?
Because it costs how many billions of dollars to drill those holes?
Yeah, but
so that one guy can get from one side of LA to the other. Oh, he's going to spend what, $14 million that year to use that system when he could spend $1 million that year using helicopters.
Yeah, but what if it's only he spends $1 million a year and he can get 100 people using it, maybe 1,000 people using it? It would be cost effective.
No one's going to use it because you can use a helicopter for way cheaper.
Yeah, but it's dangerous.
It's
Dude,
not that
helicopters don't want to fly. They're designed practically not to fly. The only reason they fly is because the prop is spinning. As soon as that thing doesn't spin, you're fucked. Like
doesn't change. No,
you can glide them to the ground, but airplanes want to fly. They're designed to fly. That's what they do. Helicopters don't. I'm never going in a fucking helicopter unless it's stars.
I'm going in a helicopter.
Yeah, stars.
Yeah, how many people have you heard have died in a helicopter? That you know it personally.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, because nobody I know goes in helicopters.
I know lots of people who've been in helicopters.
Yeah, because you're in the military.
I was. Yeah, they're fine. They don't crash. Like, they do not crash as much as you think.
Yeah, but the safety and the regulations and the...
Yes, but it's still cheaper for a billionaire than paying Elon Musk several $1 million a year to use a stupid tunnel system.
But I'm just saying it might be possible.
Not to mention his stupid tunnel system probably breaks down every 3 days, so they got to send some retard down the tunnel to fucking fix a bearing.
I doubt that.
Probably.
No, you think the mechanic bill on a helicopter would be cheaper than a tunnel? Once the tunnel's there, it's there.
No, not the tunnel. It's his stupid one-car little track system. That's probably the most... It has an elevator that goes into the ground. Like, that's a system that is bound to break.
Yeah, but you just have elevator mechanics. I bet they make less money than a helicopter mechanic.
Yeah, no, but that's not my point. The point is the guy, the billionaire, paying for two options. One option is 3 million times more expensive, and the other option is use a helicopter and already used technology.
Yeah, but we
works.
We don't know how expensive it'll be. And I don't think it'll be that expensive.
I think it would be. Well, if it's not that expensive, then why would Elon Musk try and build it? How is he going to recoup his money? He's only going to have a system that can handle like 100 people per day.
Yeah, but I still don't think he's going to charge that much. I don't believe that.
Well, how is he going to make his money then?
Yeah, over the next fucking 50, maybe 100 years.
That's the dumbest... 100 years. He's 50-something. He's not going to live that long.
He doesn't care.
You don't think he cares about how much money he's making?
Yeah, but think of the amount of money he gets from investors. It's like, oh, we'll recoup this in 35 years. I bet.
It's a very stupid system. The Hyperloop is dumb. The Boring Company subterranean LA single car track system is stupid, and it's not cost effective, and he's not going to make money.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. You could just use a helicopter.
Well, yeah, like if you're talking about right now, I agree with you.
I'm talking about fucking 100 years from now. Unless they build an actual subway system in LA that actually works and funds, works for the masses.
Well, then he should be building a subway system.
That's what I'm saying. Whereas his stupid system where it has like an elevator that you park your car on the side of the road and then goes 50 feet into the ground, and then now you're on a track.
Yeah.
Now your little elevator platform is now connected to the track that it's on. Like, have you seen that video? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That is the most ridiculous and like Dr. Seussian thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, if you had a tunnel wide enough for two cars, two tracks, it would work just like a 2-lane road. And if you could have everybody going at 100 miles an hour, dude.
No, it's not a subterranean road system. It's a subterranean premium.
Not. It's one fucking road. If he had a tunnel wide enough for 2 cars, one road.
Yeah.
Think of how many cars you can move back and forth.
You can only move as many cars as there is carts because the cars aren't driving themselves.
That's right. But how those cars can move at 100 miles an hour, they're not manned by people. So if you're busy, you could put the carts 10 feet apart, 5 feet apart. It's all computer controlled.
Yeah, but there's only so many carts in the system because there's only so many places that you can now put those elevator carts on the surface.
Yeah, and in the tunnel.
Yeah,
but
it's a very inefficient system.
But on 1 mile, how many cars is that, Gump? In 2 lanes, 10 feet apart. That's a lot of fucking cars. And they're moving. Look at the interstate in California. It sits in gridlock fucking 4 hours a day. Cars aren't moving. Why wouldn't that make sense? How could that be a dumb idea? If you could have cars 10 feet apart moving at 100 miles an hour, just going from one spot to the other, like a subway system. Car goes in, goes a mile, car comes up.
Right, so now it has to slow down. It's going 100 miles an hour, right? It has a period of slowdown.
All right.
That's going to creep back up down the tunnel. It's just going to be gridlock underground.
No, it won't be gridlock.
It 100%
because everything's
will be
moving.
gridlock.
Everything's moving. All right.
Okay, so the car who's 4 feet behind him, what does he have to do when the car in front of him begins to slow down? He too has to slow down. And the car behind that guy has to slow down. And now you have gridlock underground.
All right, but there's obviously a number where it can come off onto another track perhaps, go up the elevator. Obviously, maybe things can move at 20 miles an hour. Still, that's 19 miles an hour faster than the interstate.
It's not efficient. It is not efficient because you can only have so many cars on that system because there's only so many places on the surface that you can then put those cars again.
Oh, it's not the tunnel
factor.
problem. It's the room on the surface. That's the problem.
That's why it's stupid.
Well, you didn't say that.
No, that's what I've been saying the entire time.
No, you haven't. You just been saying it's stupid.
Yes. You know why
Yeah,
it's
but you
stupid?
haven't been
Because
explaining.
you can't go from the surface underground fast enough. You cannot take a car from the surface, get underground, go 3 miles, and then come up again in a fast manner and an efficient manner. You're not going to move people in a nearly an efficient manner.
I disagree.
No way, man. Because if you want to move people underground, build a subway, put 300 people on a train and move them 1 mile, and then they get off. That's way more efficient.
That's a way better idea, but that's not the idea.
Yeah.
They're trying to move cars.
Yeah, why? It's so stupid.
Well,
Just move people.
I don't fucking know. Ask him.
Why would you want to move cars?
I'm just saying it's not that stupid of an idea.
It's pretty stupid.
If your idea of moving cars, it's a pretty good idea. Because you're moving cars exactly like you would move people.
But you're looking at the car as the thing you're trying to move, when that's not actually the priority. It's the guy in the car that you're trying to move. He's the customer, not the car.
No, but
So
the
why are you
customer
trying
wants to
move the
ride
car?
in his car. The customer doesn't want to get on a subway because he made $4 or $5 billion that year.
So
Wants
he can
to stay in his car.
So he can take a helicopter like a fucking billionaire does.
Oh, yeah.
That's the point. So why would he want to ride in a weird, retarded system that costs him more money?
I don't know, because Elon Musk built it.
Well, see, that's what it all comes back to, is Elon Musk fanboys who think that every idea he has is genius when he's actually retarded.
Well, I'm not saying it's genius, but it's not a terrible idea.
It is a terrible idea.
No, it's not.
It is. There's a reason why it's not taking off.
Well, it's not a terrible idea. I don't think it's that stupid.
I think it's very stupid. That guy has a lot of dumb ideas. He got lucky with Tesla. He got lucky with PayPal. The SpaceX thing is going well. He's smart in that regard because he is actually going and remembering the science of old when it comes to rocket technology, which is that bigger is better. Build a big fucking rocket, brings your cost down per package. Per kilogram brings your cost down. He's been smart there because he's basically building off the ideas of Werner von Braun. So, but otherwise he's not that innovative. The engineers in his company, they're no dummies.
Well,
But there's a reason why
reason
why the smart people in his companies exist in Tesla and in SpaceX, not in the boring company, because the boring company is retarded.
I don't think it's that bad of an idea. I don't think you're quite giving it the credit that it. I don't think it's that bad of an idea.
Let's Google it. Why
Why is the
boring company will fail?
That's a top search.
Top search.
I'm not saying it won't fail. It's totally. I mean, I wouldn't invest in it. It's not a good investment.
So then why are you cheering for it?
Because I'm looking at the idea. I'm not looking at what he's trying to do. I'm just trying to break down the idea of it. I like the idea.
Okay, you like the idea. That's great. Doesn't mean it's feasible.
Doesn't mean it's not feasible.
Well, people are saying it's not feasible. There's plenty of great ideas. It doesn't necessarily mean they're feasible.
See, like the thing, I don't think it's feasible in LA.
I don't think it's feasible anywhere.
No, I think it's feasible in Canada.
Why, to have underground tunnels for individual cars?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because you could just drive. There's so much space. You're not in gridlock in Canada.
But I'm saying
the fundamental reason they would build this is because of gridlock.
You were saying that in LA, there's no room on the surface for people's cars. Well, we have all the room in the world.
Yeah, we also don't have any people, so who's going to use this system?
I'm just saying, it's feasible in this country if you wanted to build it.
No, the reason they want to build this dumb whole company, what do they call it again? Boring company. The whole company business is because of the urban sprawl of LA. We don't have urban sprawl like that in Canada. I guess the GTA is like that, and maybe Vancouver, but the rest of Canada is not like that at all. So the fundamental problem that this is trying to solve does not exist in Canada. So why would we try and build it here? How is that now feasible here?
That's fair, yeah, okay. I'm just saying we have the room.
Oh, we got the room, no doubt. Oh, fuck. It won't let me read it because I got an ad blocker. Well, that's okay. I won't read it. Fuck you, Forbes. Forbes magazine. Lick my nuts.
I think you have to subscribe to Forbes. You want a beer gump?
Yeah.
This shit's getting heated.
Well, I'm just saying. Listen, I like Elon. He had some good ideas. He has some good ideas as well. But the Boring Company and the Hyperloop specifically are so dumb. There's a reason why he had to sell flamethrowers to try and get that off the ground. He had to make it seem cooler than it was. Because it's fundamentally stupid.
The Hyperloop. Or the Boring Company.
Well, both. Either or. I think he sold the flamethrowers for it was for the Boring Company. For that idea of building underground tunnels for individual cars.
See, the idea, let's go back to the Hyperloop for just a second.
Okay.
So your entire argument is based off the fact that if the thing leaks, it will turn into a fucking missile.
Yeah.
So that's the only one.
No, that's not the only one. That's the primary argument why it's stupid. The other argument is that it's not cost effective because how do you maintain a vacuum over hundreds of miles?
Right.
All right. How much energy, like how do you like physically do it? Like engineering wise, it's almost impossible to do because there is going to be leaks. So you're going to have air pumps running constantly.
All right.
So that's going to incur a ridiculous electricity price.
What if you, instead of creating a vacuum, you move the air in the direction the train is going?
So like an air gun?
So let's... Okay.
You're telling me we're building an air gun? That'd be sweet. I'm in.
All right, so let's say... I mean, I don't know if this is a good idea, but let's say that if your train is moving at 500 miles an hour,
yep,
and you move your air of the tunnel at 250 miles an hour, the air is technically... Or the train is only moving through the air at 250 miles an hour, right?
Relative to I guess it's the airspeed.
Yeah, the airspeed is 250 miles an hour.
No, but that doesn't change the pressure. If we're assuming in this hypothetical, there is air in the tunnel.
Yeah,
right? So it's atmospheric air.
Yes,
atmospheric pressure.
Yes. So you're cruising at 500 miles an hour, but the air is moving at 250.
I guess, but see, pneumatics is not a good way of transferring energy because I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to essentially offload the energy into an external source, meaning like a big fan at one end or whatever.
But then you'd have to take that energy to power the fan to move the air.
Exactly.
Fuck.
So at that point, like the reason that the Hyperloop is a thing is because if you get rid of air resistance, you can increase efficiency really high.
Yeah.
That's the idea. which is a good idea, but to implement it is, first of all, next to impossible, and second of all, incredibly fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
You're basically creating a 200-mile long implosion device. It's a very scary idea.
But I guess that train in the tunnel would still be as efficient as we could get it, though. Just a regular old tunnel at regular atmospheric pressure. That's probably the most efficient way to move people, is just in a train in a tunnel.
Yeah.
At 300 miles an hour.
Yeah, like the Japanese do with their maglev trains,
Yeah.
the bullet trains. Like those things go at like 200 and something miles an hour or whatever. Like,
Just make them sleek.
to go back to I think the original, like the beginning of this conversation, we were talking about why we don't build bullet trains across Canada.
Right.
We need to do that.
Yeah. We need some bullet trains
We need bullet trains.
from our major city centers running along the number 1.
Yeah. Oh, just have one go along the number 1 all the way from, well, I mean, that's going to be a logistical problem when you get to the Rockies. But
Yeah.
from here to Toronto, you could pretty much do it.
Hire Elon, bore a fucking hole through the thing.
Just go right through the bitch.
Yeah.
Right through the mountains. Yeah, that'd be all right. Like, see, that's the thing with the boring company, is if they want to make money, they should just start renting themselves out to people who want to dig tunnels.
Quit with the idea of trying to move cars.
Yeah,
and just-
some weird car moving. Like, it's just funny. Like, you just build subway systems everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
In every city over 1 million people, build a subway system. I mean, in Moscow, that's a city of 10 million people. Its subway system has been lauded as one of the best subway systems on the planet. They call it the metro,
Right.
the Moscow Metro, and it moves. How many people does the Moscow Metro move every year? There's some crazy statistic on that. How many people does the Moscow Metro move per day? Not
17. Oh, wait, that's lines.
daily ridership is just under 7 million.
Jeez.
Oh, sorry, that's average. Is just under 7 million
That's daily?
on a daily basis.
Holy fuck.
And their highest record ever was the 26th of December, 2014, which is 9.7 million people, which is, I think the population of Moscow is like 10 and change. So,
Wow.
I mean, there's probably lots of people coming from the countryside and whatever, but that's a ridiculous amount of people in a day. 9.7 million people in one day. That's efficiency.
Yeah, that's wild.
For like probably the equivalent of $2 Canadian per each person. That's so cheap.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
We need trains up in this bitch. I'd love to just, drive to Calgary, park my truck, hop on a train, and just rip out to see some cousins out in Ontario. or
Yeah,
something.
fuck, that'd be so simple. Instead, you gotta go through security and shit on a flight, and then bring your baggage and all that shit. No, what a fuck around, eh?
Yeah.
It's always a fuck around. Then you get on the flight, and oh no, the flight's grounded because it's snowing. It's like fuck. So now your whole day is ruined because you got to wait a whole another day.
Exactly.
Such a fuck around. I say we just build trains because you can just put a fucking snow plow on the front of a train. Snow don't stop a train.
Exactly. Or just put the thing like 20 feet in the air. Need 20 feet of snow to slow that bitch down.
we might run into problems in Newfoundland,
Right.
but that's okay. They don't think they deserve trains.
No. I was going as far as like Quebec City and call her good.
Honestly, I think we could just stop at Kenora.
Literally.
We could stop at Kenora, Ontario. And
Stop
then
at the border.
we look at all that Canadian Shield and be like, fuck, that's a lot of rocks. I don't feel like building a train through this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, have we yelled at each other long enough?
I wasn't yelling. I was just arguing like an Italian. It was a polite discussion about why the Hyperloop is stupid.
That's stupid. All right, it's stupid. I agree with you.
I don't mean to make you feel stupid just because you like Elon's ideas.
No, I didn't say I liked his ideas.
Well, I thought you said it was a good idea.
Well, I'm not trying to tie myself to his ideas. I just like the idea of, moving vehicles in the tunnel. I know
Okay.
it's obviously his idea because he's currently doing it, but I'm not trying to tie myself to. I'm not a Elon fanboy. Is what I'm saying.
All right, copy that.
I'm just saying. It's not that bad of an idea.
You
But
could
now
do it on like the moon.
I have determined it's not a great idea.
You could do something like that on the moon. If you had like cities on the moon, I mean, there's no I mean, there's technically an atmosphere there, but it's just so fucking thin that it might as well not exist. So you could have like trains that just run at Mach chicken on the moon. Because
one last
no air.
question before the podcast is over. Does the moon have like a molten center
No, the moon is cold.
all the way through?
Yep.
Oh, shit, let's just drill a hole right through the fucking moon.
But what happens when you get to the very center? Because then the gravity's pulling you equally both ways. You're just gonna
You're
float
gonna have
there.
to rocket your way out the other side.
Yeah, you gotta speed up. It's like going through a valley with your car. You gotta speed up when you get to the bottom because you gotta build up momentum to go up the other side. You know what I mean?
to get to the top.
So when you're going right through the center of the moon, you gotta fucking really speed up on her so you can break through that barrier. Otherwise, you'll just get stuck in the middle forever.
Yeah, and they have to winch you out.
Yeah. Some schmuck with his 2002 Tahoe has to use his winch on the front of his bush rig Tahoe to pull you out.
Exactly. All right.
Well, that's pretty good, I guess. My mouse doesn't work. Still pissed about it.
Hopefully we'll be back with a new mouse next time.
Perchance.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya, everybody. Peace.